we came back from watching Tron Ares, ladies and gentlemen, directed by Joachim Ronning. He's most known for Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man Tells No Tales, Maleficent, I've heard of it. I don't think I've seen it, but I know that's a pretty big film. And another one called Kon-Tiki. He's got some clout behind him. A big budget films. The music by none other than Nine Inch Nails, which I didn't know it was them until after the movie. Yeah, that's so. I gotta say,
surprised it wasn't 3 Seconds to Mars.
Yeah, I know, me too. I thought it was gonna be them. Yeah, well, first of all, soundtrack was amazing. That was probably like one of the highlights of the movie with the soundtrack. Quite a few parts of the movie, the music was almost drowning the movie. Did you find that? It was very loud. It was almost like the main part.
There's a track playing pretty much in every single scene of the film, whether it's just some sample beat.
Actually,
or ambient more than actually theatrical, but I think every single scene in this film there's some kind of music playing, which for the most part it's okay, but then there is some scenes which is like just take it out, please, we don't need it right now, please. Sometimes it can kill a movie. It didn't kill the movie, but unnecessary sometimes. I walked into it with no hope, expecting to walk out of it as just a big piece of trash. I won't say it's a trash film. It's generic as shit, as you kind of get with a Disney product these days. Very generic storyline.
I'll take generic over a lot of the crap that we've been getting lately in the past 10 years. I'll take generic.
What I was going to get with. Yeah. I'd rather generic over pretentious any day of the week. If this was a script that was made, a film that was made 30 years ago as a direct sequel to Tron, I think it would have stood out quite well. Because it does have a very, in terms of the plot, it does have a very 80s, 90s vibe where, like you said, it's black and white, good and evil, people's intentions of how to use and exploit power, whatnot. We have we have a lead character who is not 100% human, who grows consciousness and grows self-awareness, and those tropes are quite enjoyed. Are we going into spoilers straight away? Is that what we're doing?
Probably not. Probably give it a few more minutes before we go to the spoilers. We'll just give a briefly what we thought about it, goods and bads, and the ugly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you were right about the chemistry. There is not the chemistry ain't strong, and I feel like it's because the original script had more of probably a romantic kind of intention. But then with a redraft and another redraft, it's probably saying, no, they're just going to go this way. So the chemistry between some of the key characters feels a bit weird, I guess, at times. But by the third act, we get a gist of where their outline is going to become and all that stuff. So you accept it. And I do agree. I know Jared Leto has had a bad couple of years on his belt with some bad choices for franchising, and I've said it every time, I can't really blame Jared Leto for the outcome of the products. All I'm talking about is Morbius and his role as the Joker in Suicide Squad / the Batman, Superman, DCU, what do you want to call it. I've always found him a decent actor in his earlier stuff when he wasn't as big a name. He did a lot of like independent roles, small budgets, and I think he's the best thing. Like you said, he's the best thing about this film. I feel like he carries some of the wholesomeness of it. He doesn't come off as pretentious or corny or over selling himself. It's very paint by numbers role, but he's enjoyable, and it is backed up by what I think the best thing about the film is the cinematography. It is a very nice looking film. The use of the kind of Tron aesthetics of the 80s now brought to modern times, I think was quite cool. And unfortunately, all that said, I feel like this film is still not going to get the attention, not so much that it deserves, but the attention it needs for a valid opinion on it. And most people are just going to hate on it straight away, either because it's got Jared Leto labeled on it, or two, it's a movie that I don't think anybody was really asking for. Because I remember we were going to the cinemas a couple months back, and all of a sudden, behold, there's a trailer for Tron Ares, and it was like, straight away my first thought was like, does anybody really want this? Is anybody asking for a new Tron sequel slash reboot? And I feel the answer is no, because leading up to this, no one really even was aware this film existed, you know.
Yeah,
And
we were there in the opening weekend, and there was what, man, like 20 people there, 30, well, maybe.
yeah, at most.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah,
pretty.
we got
Yeah,
more people at one of the last weeks for The Conjuring. You know what I mean? So it kind of show and tells people's thoughts or like just overall attention or care for Tron at the moment is. And unfortunately, that plus Jared Leto, I feel like it's not going to make back anything from its. I think it was like an over $100 million budget, which for something of this scale is actually quite impressive.
pretty low.
Yeah, but even still, as a Disney product too, you think it'd be a couple more dollars, but unfortunately, all that said, it's whether it was going to be a masterpiece or a POS. I don't think there's going to be a lot of people going to see it, regardless. So it's got that unfortunate behind it, and all I can say is just see it before you hate on it. Simple as that. Because I'm not saying I love the film. I'm also saying I didn't hate the film. It passes what I think should be this atypical Disney Tron film, if that makes any sense. And if it gets a sequel, I won't be unhappy, if that makes any sense. I kind of want to give it a chance, give it a breather. I don't think it's going to get a sequel, though. And that's about as much as I can say on it without giving spoilers away.
Yeah, I mean, they're setting up a sequel. Yeah, I won't say what that is, but I don't think it will. I mean, it needs to break at least 300 million to make it for them to bother making a sequel. You can tell, like, they didn't write the sequel yet. This is just a kind of one and done. And then they probably wanted a sequel in the very, like, oh, let's just set something up just in case, you know, like, oh, we could probably make a massive trilogy out of it, which is, I don't know why they'll do that. It's not very necessary. Let's see here. Yeah, well, I think I haven't seen the first movie in the 80s, 1986, was it? Then they made a nice little homage to it, which I thought was cool. The 2009 film, I remember not really liking it. I wasn't a fan of the 2009 film. Yeah, so honestly, this is better than the 2009 film. So if you like the 2009 film, I don't know what you'll think of this one. If you didn't like the 2009 film, you probably will like this one more. Because I remember in the 2009 one, it was just too colorful. There was the whole movie was set in that whole universe, the whole video game universe, and it was just too much, man. It's like epilepsy warning, honestly. But this one, I won't spoil it, but it was done in other environments that you might be surprised, which might actually be a breath of fresh air. And that's one of the things I really liked about it is it wasn't just done in one universe, it was done in multiple universes.
Well,
Spoilers. All right, so yeah, I will give it an above average rating. That's about all we can get into. Actually, yeah, in the spoil, we'll go through the plot and the spoilers. There's no point going through the plot; like it's not going to help. All it's going to do is spoil the film. So I would say go watch the film. It wasn't a waste of time or anything like that. You know, there was some cool, really cool scenes, and then the 9-inch nails behind them really made it like epic. So like a good 2 or 3 scenes that were really cool. And I recommend watching the movie. So that's all we've got for the non-spoiler section, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into the spoilers, shall we? All right, well, we're at the spoilers now.
yay!
So the MacGuffinator, the old MacGuffin, the what was it called? The permanence key. It's a pretty cool concept.
Yeah.
A cool concept in the whole. You've got this video game universe. It is. I can see it being quite relative, popular in today's kind of world, like some of the story aspects, but I don't think they market it very well, or people don't care or don't know about it. Like the whole idea that Tron is a video game universe, and the billionaire corporations are trying to get the video game universe and do it in real life. Try to actually like 3D print the video game in real life. Like the bad corporation, they're trying to basically do security for the world, weaponize who needs security guards or police officers? Let's just make Tron, in real life.
Yeah,
And
it's like online security. That's the future. Everything needs to be online or network security or something. Yeah, cyber security,
yeah,
basically.
but they cannot. They can do it, but it only lasts 29 minutes. And after 29 minutes, once they 3D print the Tron universe, they disappear back to their own universe. So the permanence key allows is a piece of eternal life. So if they 3D print something, it'll stay there forever, and that's what they need it to really, push their agenda, I guess. And the good guys, they are after the same thing, but they want to grow plants and water and medical technology for the world, which is beautiful and curing cancer. And I guess, who wins in the end of the day? Obviously, the good guys win. I kind of want the bad guys. Man, just let the bad guys win. Stuff it. It's a Disney film, though. The good guys have to win always.
Well, they set up for a sequel, so maybe if it does get a green light, the bad guys can win in the sequel. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they have some callbacks, to Dillinger.
Yeah.
The evil mastermind from the original film. It's now his son, and I guess the mother as well, played by Gillian Anderson, who was, I guess, severely underused in this because 9 times out of 10 she's just standing there observing all the stupid stuff that her son's doing, and that's about it.
And threatening him the whole time.
But even then, it's just like bad boy, and he's still doing the stupid crud stuff.
She was very one-dimensional. Yeah, she was very one-dimensional, and he was very one-dimensional.
Honestly, they could have made her the villain and have the exact same intentions throughout. It would have been still acceptable, but no, they wanted a young face to start a new
pretty boy
franchise or something. And his whole intentions is pretty much the exact same as that freaking retard from Alien Earth, man. It's the exact same. Boy genius, pretty much, who is a trillionaire, billionaire, and all this stuff. Highly intelligent, of course, has no control over his own creations or whatnot. They eventually betray him for their own goals set in mind. Very generic villain. I kind of was hoping at a certain point, we're in spoiler territory. There's a certain point where the mother gets injured fatally and eventually dies by Athena, who's become the new master. What was the title? I should know. Master Command.
Yeah, Master Commander. Yeah.
Right, and I thought maybe he'd have a change of heart or something, but no, he stayed villainous to the point where he literally shoots himself into the virtual reality world, and the cliffhanger is he's going to take over the grid and become his own new Master Commander. Cool. Obviously, very generic beginning plot of a supervillain.
Yeah, and then let's just a quick prediction. Then Ares, he's going to be forced to go back to the video game universe to defeat him. But the crutch is, if he goes back in, he can't come back out. So it's like going to be a whole moral dilemma of, should I do it, should I not? And he's going to do it, and then he's going to martyr himself.
Yeah, he'll become the new god, or like Jeff Bridges' new kind of visual. He'll take it over, become one with the grid. Yeah, that's the end of the franchise. Look, let's be serious. Let's be honest. Everything in this is very subpar generic story. But for me, it kind of conveys it enough for me to like it more than dislike it. And the strong reason for that is Jared Leto as Ares. I enjoy his cathartic transition from just being this expendable soldier, growing self-awareness and consciousness, and pretty much become more human. It's a cliched thing that we've seen a million times, but for me, it does enough just for me to warrant to like it. and in an even sense has a little spice of Terminator vibes throughout it as well. Um, but again, it just does enough for me to like it, not to dislike it. I don't love it. It's probably going to be a movie I'll not really recommend, or I will recommend it, but it's not a movie I'm going to go out to see again anytime soon. However, like we were saying, if it does pick up a sequel, cool. All right, this is the new thing that they're going to be doing. Try and relive Tron. Cool. The only thing I'm concerned about is whether this was originally just meant to be a film made for the sake of keeping the rights to Tron and nothing more.
Right,
That all
because
said,
yeah,
if it
yeah, yeah.
was, so that all said, if that was the case, they could have made it a lot worse. Like it could have been like The Matrix revisit. I can't remember what the
Ooh.
subtitle of that was, but that was a train wreck of a movie, and it was only made to keep the rights in the hands of Warner Brothers. You know, so if this was the same thing for Tron, okay, pretty pretty lackluster, but it did enough for me to warrant a thumbs up more than a thumbs down. You want to have a go at the ham, Josh?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I was gonna say, uh, just they use the real world in this. I don't know. I kind of want to talk about the some of the plot holes, like
Go for it.
like this freaking boy genius guy. He's a super genius. He's got trillions of dollars probably. He creates these androids, but he didn't take into account Rain. Rain pretty much ruined the whole movie. Rain gave Ares bloody consciousness to,
Consciousness.
and then Rain also stopped Eve from dying because bloody what's her name was going to kill her. But the classic, oh look, Athena, like look over this way. Oh, look back, too late. Also, Eve is somehow a professional bike rider, even though Ares and Athena, they're the greatest bikers in the universe, but somehow Eve beats him in a bike race. Remember, it was her versus him.
Well, I saw it as if, like, again, that was pretty much the first time in the real world, Ares and Athena, and their programming is set linear,
Yeah,
just
very.
like in a game,
Yeah.
where she was doing things that was off the grid. You know, she was cutting through, buildings. She wasn't sticking to the road. She wasn't sticking to the grid and all that. So because of that humane side of her, she was able to outsmart them. You know what I mean? That's how I
Yeah.
saw it. Using the parking lot to her advantage and getting the jump on Athena. Fair enough. However, yeah, her character being this billionaire holder slash genius slash gamer slash coder slash hacker slash bike rider. It's
Yeah.
like,
Wow.
okay, it was sort of getting to that point of like she is a Mary Sue. Like it was almost to the point where it's like she can do anything and she's just good at it. But I don't know. I think it reached a wall where for me it wasn't enough to me to warrant that label of her. So I still kind of did like her character, even though everything she does in the film is very atypical.
Mm.
But you know, it gets to a point where she does need the assistance of Jared Leto. She does need the assistance of her friends in order to get the job done. So she didn't feel like she was doing everything by herself, even though they could have easily done that in this kind of film, especially with a Disney brand back in it. Um, but I do get where you're coming from. It's like if these are meant to be super cyber soldiers, like the boy genius is advertising these things as the next level in like military weaponization, but they don't have the fundamentals yet to capture a civilian
Yeah. Or
without difficulty.
they get some newspaper. You know, they're riding a bike. They get some newspapers in their face, and they don't know to like swipe it off or something. I guess they can't. I guess they're kind of stuck in that Tron bike, so they can't like wipe the newspapers off. Yeah, no, I see what you're coming from. That makes sense. But I don't, like Athena, she also builds this freaking monolith, humongous machine just to kill one person, just to kill Eve. and it moves at the speed of a turtle. I swear she could have built something else to like kill Eve. Some ninja fucking robot with like rocket launchers and
Well,
spears and shit.
it was a callback to the original film because that device, that bridge-looking thing, was this kind of tank thing used in the original films, and it does basically the exact same thing. But I don't think her intention was to actually kill Eve. Wasn't her intention to capture her, take her back to base, get the code from her? The what was it called? I've forgotten the freaking name
Permanence.
of it already. Yes, thank you. The permanence, because the physical version of it was broken because of her, but the plot convenience was because she made it. The answers to recreating the algorithm are in her or
Yes,
something.
there was a scene though. There was a scene that's like, "Oh, you need me to stay alive. I threw the permanence keys, like the keys inside you. We can kill you and get it out of you." Then they, I swear they
Does
said
it
that.
kill you? I thought it was like extracted from a brain or memories or like something like that.
My idea was they didn't need her alive. They could have killed her and done it. Because there were scenes
If
where
that's
they like
if that's the case, then how come she was handcuffed at one point in the ship that Athena was driving? She could have killed her any time at that point. I feel like she needed to apprehend her and take her back to base.
right, and she that gun she tried to shoot her with that took her to the other world, right? That was the Tron gun. Took her
Yeah,
into
it
Tron.
was. Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, yeah, no, that makes sense. She needed to be alive. I guess it's hard.
For some extraction, and then they say afterwards, then you kill her or something like that. They depixelate her, I think was the term.
Depixelate,
Yeah, depixelate. Yeah,
yeah,
so again, like they need her alive, so that explains why she was able to dodge bullets for half the time, I guess. But it was cool to see how these things worked in the real world against modern technology. Like
yeah.
some pretty cool aerial fights and car chases where we see them using the light beams like they do in the original Tron and the original game thing. And it always for me felt like the second you touch it, things explode. But I think that's only in the virtual reality. In the real world, it's like a physical wall, a
Yeah,
physical wall that
immovable wall. Yeah,
yeah, you can't really. You could probably survive hitting the damn thing if you're not going at extreme speeds, which unfortunately some of these fighter jets were. And it was actually kind of cool to see a fighter jet manage to damage some of these devices. Like, even though they're kind of state of the art in this new tech, they are still not
explosive,
impervious.
not
Yeah,
explosive proof. Very yeah, like they can still take
yeah,
damage from rockets and that.
yeah. I was waiting for it
Yeah.
to be like engage the force fields and like we don't stand a chance against them unless Jared Leto comes into it. But no, it was kind of nice to see like they can take damage from the physical world and all that stuff.
And the physical world
That
helped
was kind
him.
of neat.
Like the jets actually like did damage to its right leg, and it was like, oh,
Yeah.
right leg damaged. Yeah, so
Oh,
yeah,
kamikaze it. So I was like, sweet. All right, someone's actually doing something smart and not just dying because hey, the plot needs them to die. Cool.
yeah. What do you think of the eight? Where Ares goes into the '80s world to get the permanence key. There was a little homage to the
I
'80s
enjoyed it.
film. You enjoyed it?
I enjoyed
Yeah,
it.
I enjoyed
A
it.
lot, a lot of films these days do the nostalgic flip,
Yeah,
but
it's a
I mean,
classic.
for the sake, yeah, it's a recurring theme right now. But for the sake of Tron, I feel like showing where we are now as opposed to where we were, I think was kind of, it was both touching, get to see Jeff Bridges again, even though he's in the film for like 5 minutes and he doesn't really do anything really that philosophical or,
No.
I guess, or motivating. It's just like, oh, so you want this because you feel. And that's
Uh,
basically it. And his version in this as his god form, basically, it didn't really feel like his character Flynn from the original um, Trons. It actually felt like he was just playing some washed up version of the dude from the Big Lebowski.
uh,
Because just, hey man, that's just like your opinion. That was the kind of vibe I was getting, so I was a bit confused about that. But nonetheless, they had Jeff Bridges in it. And he probably won himself like $10 million to be on screen for 2 minutes. So kudos to
yeah,
him.
yeah. Oh well, he had a couple of philosophies like Oh, it's not the permanence key. If you really think about it, it's the impermanence key. You know, you get to live a real life
Rebrand.
and then die in the end of the. You know, you get to die like a real human.
Yes.
And
Yes. The value of one life as opposed to an infinite amount of them. It
yes,
makes life like special to live in, I guess. That was neat. All I'm gonna say is in terms of character arcs, man, I have to compare this to what we saw most recently, which was Alien Earth. And Alien Earth does tackle similar things about artificial intelligence and all that jazz. This film, even though it is a generic, it still managed to do a, a billion times better job in showcasing a character arc than 8 episodes of that alien fight Earth that we got, man. Like, we see the beats coming. We see like the Jared Leto is gonna have a transition of some sort. You know, his artificiality is gonna be challenged by his awareness of the real world, and we see that arc and all that.
he's the
It's
only
done.
one
It's
that
done.
has one. Yeah, but he's the only one that gets an
Well,
arc, really.
he was the first one to experience it. We get a glimpse of Athena experiencing it
Yes.
before her character can really flesh out what it all meant. Her character went down a different path. Instead of curiosity, she was going still in the realm of following protocol and all that stuff. Um, Perhaps if they wanted to flesh it more out or keep her character, she could have gone down that path. But I mean, bottom line is her character was experiencing anger and hate pretty much throughout the whole film. So to me, that is a character arc for her to be going down that path. And it makes perfect sense to have Ares, the god of war, as well as Athena, who's the goddess of war, you know, as they're both titles. So it's like nature versus nurture kind of debate. Like your own personal experiences is what defines you by the end of it. So she was still stuck in her programming. And I suppose I'm getting too deep in this movie because it's not a deeper film.
Yeah, not really.
But but I suppose the reason why Athena didn't really brought out as much as Ares did, even though they experienced the same phenomenon, is generally because of their interaction with Eve. You know, like Jared got to see Eve as something else more than just a mission. Like in order for um Ares to complete his mission, he had to do a background check basically on Eve's life and all that. So he got to know her and experience emotions and stuff that is not part of his algorithm. So it's all question mark, question mark, question mark that he wanted to answer. Athena doesn't do that. Athena's just like, this is my directive. I don't need to know the ins and outs of it. It's just okay, straight line, finish it. And because she couldn't complete that mission, it just made her more angry and angry and angry by the end of the film. To the point where she started killing supposed allies in order to complete the mission that she was tasked with. Self-destruction in a sense. So that's about as much as deep as I want to go with a Disney film. So yeah, we'll leave it at that.
I gotta say, I did. I couldn't help watch a couple of post analysis videos, and I noticed there's been a bit of buzz on like Ares. He's a bit of a stalker. He's a bit of a stalker. Yeah, stalker. Like, but I don't agree. Like he was programmed. Yeah, no, you'll see it. Like, because he basically he built an empathy, and he was basically stalking her the whole movie, like half the movie. Yeah, no, you don't see that either. Yeah,
it was part of the whole MacGuffin mission.
Exactly.
He wasn't stalking her for the sake of stalking her. He was stalking her because it was the key trope. She was the key to the MacGuffin, and the MacGuffin was the key to her.
And he wanted the MacGuffin either way, whether it's part of the real mission or his own mission. He became his own mission to get the MacGuffin so he can live forever.
Yeah, again, I mean, I just did it myself, but that's looking way too much into it, man.
Yeah, okay. Anyway. Yeah, so okay, well, it's been 35 minutes. I think we've said pretty much what we need to say. It was very visually pleasing. The music was great. A lot of the visuals was great. The cinematography was really good. The acting was good enough. If you just don't look too deep into it, into like all the chemistry in that, it was good enough. The story was a bit weak, a bit generic.
Yep.
Actually,
Like if
yeah,
there was a gauge of red, yellow, and green, of course, green being good, red being crud. This whole film is yellow.
yellow, yeah,
It's not great, but it's also not shit. It's just in the middle. And for me, given what else we've seen this year, it's still enough to recommend to go see it. Just go
yeah.
see it for yourself. Don't just hate on it because hey, it's got Jared Leto and blah 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 blah. Just see it for yourself.
And
Simple.
okay, and in that, I'll give the movie a 6.5 out of 10. That's my rating.
I will. That's yours, and mine will be a 6. It's
Great.
just there. There it is.
Yeah, it was better than. Was it better than 28 Days Later? 28 Years Later, sorry. Even though they're completely different, two different movies.
28 years later is an original concept, but it falls flat on its ass. And again, it's the debate of generic versus pretentious, because that film got extremely pretentious at the end
Yeah.
of it, man. I rather generic. At least the generic feels like they know how to end it, whereas pretentious is just self-serving. And unfortunately, 28 years was self-serving. This, yeah, you can't compare.
Yeah, I like this one, but I had a better time with this one anyway.
Mm.
Because that was probably the
It's
worst movie.
rewatchable more than 28 years later, man.
Yeah.
I would rather rewatch this than 28 years later, which is sad because I'm a huge fan of 28 Days and Weeks Later. So yeah,
And also,
anyway.
it's better than Jurassic World as well. That was a piece
Yes,
of trash movie.
yes.
Well, that's not in the movies anymore, so you don't have to worry about that. But
So that's
yeah,
generic, but it just smells of shit all the way through it.
yeah, it's
You know,
just shit.
it's just bleh.
All right, well,
This is still fun.
that's yeah, it is fun, and we'll see you on the next video. Thank you.
Bye.